feel better with them at home more than knowing they have to take the bus out there. It's not really safe out there. So I feel better when they're at home with me and still learning. They're still doing well.
All right, doctors. Starting with you, Dr. Harrison, then followed by Dr. Webb. What is your observation of the kind of dynamic we're observing at this point?
Well, first of all, Dwight, I would say we have some fabulous mothers here who are really experiencing probably the better half of what the experience can be like. So
Right.
I see mixed pictures. I see some young people who are doing pretty well in terms of having, all these restrictions laid on them. And many of them cope pretty well with the online schooling once they have the capacity to connect to school and connect reliably.
Right.
But there are some who are not as efficient as these young people and who don't have mummies or daddies at home to kind of supervise and maybe aren't as focused as these young girls are. And so they really will complain that they don't feel like they're learning as much. So yes, they're learning, but they don't have that opportunity to have that one-on-one with the teacher and for the teacher to see their faces like, huh, I didn't get that. And lot of them will put their hand up in Zoom class or Google Classroom and say, Miss, I really don't forget that at all. It's like,
Right.
whoosh. So some of them don't have that experience.
Absolutely. Well, we see similar trends to what Dr. Harrison has described, but I think for the majority of the children, unfortunately, they don't have the family support that we're seeing with these young people here today. So, especially those in our marginalized communities, they are having serious challenges. So, for some of the kids who would love to be online for school, many of them are in communities where there is, the Wi-Fi connection is very poor,
Oh, yeah.
especially in the rural areas. And in some of the households, some of the kids do not have tablets. So this is very difficult when they have to share their parents' phone to do some of the tasks. So, the mom has to make a decision between working and when do I carve out time so my children can access school online. And then we have, we're seeing that some of the kids are actually feeling a little bit held back. So especially if they're academically really strong children, as Melissa said, I'll try to help where I can, but the reality is not every parent or grandparent or whoever that guardian is knowledgeable about the curriculum material. And so it is a challenge for many of the families.
There are obvious challenges, especially if you have one tablet or one phone and you have two or three kids. It's very difficult. And if you have a parent or a grandparent who is not technologically savvy, it can be very challenging. I mean, I've had young people who are not used to technology that have struggled to just recognize how to receive and send emails and to send homework that way. And so maybe, something as basic as just how to use a platform is something that we need to use for the marginalized group.
The anxiety, the stress, and the other emotional or psychological issues, they manifest themselves differently in kids of different ages. What are some of the signs parents can look out for that are signals that something is wrong?
I'm seeing a lot of it in my young people. So I see
Wow.
several ages, but I see predominantly adolescents. So from around 10, 11, right up to, 19, early 20s. And I would say a lot of them are struggling in a major way with new symptoms of anxiety. Some of them have gotten so adjusted to being at home that there's a lot of fear to leave the home.
Really?
A lot of fear, the way they eat, so what we call disordered eating behaviors, so they might be restricting and getting very unwell and very, just not mentally or emotionally healthy. So parents may notice that, their young people are always in their bedroom or always alone. And so you have to try and do things to pull them out. Maybe go for a walk together when you can, and if the area is safe enough to do that, wearing your mask if you have a crowded area. But you have to get them out. Make sure that, you still engage them with certain chores. Maybe teach them new things like how to cook stew peas or how to do a good curry chicken or something, so that you get them involved in something, definitely, because we're seeing it. And parents are at a loss as to how to manage it. And a lot of them, now they only get to talk to their friends online, and the parents are like, on the computer again.
A number of children as well who are being bullied, harassed sexually, verbally abused in the household as well. So sometimes when they're trying to get out, they're trying to get away from that environment. Unfortunately, we're seeing that the domestic violence or intimate partner violence rate has almost quadrupled since the pandemic. And unfortunately, because parents have been, not just parents, but sometimes family members who live in the household, everybody has been so cooped up inside, and unfortunately, many of the children are unable to escape in the home environment. And we have to address this because it is a problem where we're seeing a rise of child pregnancies again. There was a time we were able to reverse the clock on this, but because of the pandemic, many things have been set back to that time. So, on every platform I go, I make sure that we address this issue of gender-based violence. And it's happening for both girls and boys, right? And when we talk about the children. So it is an issue that we need to make sure that we're addressing as well. And then, I do want to add that, when you're looking at signs and symptoms, especially you as parents, try and think of the regular activities that your children did, apart from what Dr. Harrison mentioned about them being isolated, but also look at their sleep patterns, look at their ability to eat, are they eating too much or too little? Sometimes when you're overeating, and that's not your norm, it's linked to depression, lying signs of depression, but also that the child's ability or to socialize with you, to engage with you, to talk to you. If they're not engaging as much, it may be a sign that they're depressed as well. Sometimes the child can be very aggressive and angry and saying hurtful things. And that is sometimes comes with the anxiety, sometimes with depression. Sometimes you don't even know the difference between the two. And we don't want parents to diagnose their children by any means. But we do want you to observe, the child's behavior. What is, excessive and what is minimal. But then there's another issue that we have to talk about, and that is the fear of these beautiful young women knowing about sex trafficking is happening, right? Kids are going missing, they're being exploited and sold. So to our beautiful young ladies here on the screen, I want to remind you, do not go out by yourself. Make sure there's one other person always with you. Not because it's not just happening to the girls, it's happening to the boys as well.
But
So these are some of the things.
Interjection there, Doc, and parents must also supervise what's happening online with the kids.
Absolutely.
If officials from the Ministry of Education are listening, what would you like to say to them that is your biggest concern at this point regarding the emotional concern you have as parents?
I'm really thinking about that because I know they're doing their best, and I've seen where the protocols require children to still social distance, to I would just say give them more devices. See if they can put out some more devices to these children.
I agree with the previous mom, what she said about more devices, because a lot of the kids, right, they're not having enough devices like some form of guidance counseling online for the kids also to help
Oh,
those who are
interesting. Interesting suggestion.
right. So I think that could work.
So I would say the same thing also about it. Different because there's a lot of kids that doesn't have a device to go online and that kind of hold them back. And well, as for my daughter, they have their laptop, but since the online schooling, the laptops are giving a lot of problems, freezing up and all. I don't know. And Wi-Fi, I'm living in the rural area, so you know, Wi-Fi is very bad.
It's a challenge.
Sometimes keep them out of the classroom, so I think they should try to get to the kids that are having challenges in the rural area.
All right, Doc, parents, and that's Dr. Harrison and Webb, Melissa, Yashika, and Tanya. Thank you so very much. Thank you all for your contribution to this timely and relevant conversation. We must keep it going. If we say the kids are our future, then we must protect them, especially so during these challenging times. Major gratitude.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Stick around after the break. So much more to come. We head to the Glamour Zone.
Did you sell? Did you sell? You know it's so vibrant, no life is a promise. Say you striving for more, no more limitations. Passion and communication, reaching every heart to the generations. Innovation flow from the community, got to bring unity. So moving with a new source of energy. This is what brings the wheels alive. It's the whole new world to take you higher. Together.
I see you. Because one day, my little business is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and I'll make sure you know we have a little something in here. Just see if I'm sorry. And thanks to JDI, Department of Insurance Protection and ICA has gone up.
You've been upgraded. Deposits held in commercial banks, building societies, and merchant banks are covered under the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme up to $1.2 million per depositor per institution.
The JDIC is big protection for every little thing that matters to me.
No, that's near real upgrade. Sri Panchamuki Astrology Center, international famous advisor from generation to generation. Hindu philosopher Sai Ram. Don't get your issues cold. Visit us today and get advice on issues such as love, relationships, career, travel, horoscope, business, and so much more. All are welcome to consultancy only by appointment. Call Master Sai Ram at 876-373-0004. Located in New Kingston, Halfway Tree, and Mandeville, Jamaica. Global astrologer and spiritual healer in Jamaica. Hindu priest Master Mohan Das. To every problem, there is a solution. Give advice on various issues so be kept private and confidential. All are welcome. Located in Mandeville, Manchester, and Ontario.
The Glamour Zone is our curated style segment featuring global fashion happenings and special fashion moments from our home on the rock or the fashion capitals of the world. The runways project the trends, the models execute the vision, and the creative teams of makeup artists, stylists, show producers make the magical moment memorable. Here is another great escape to the Glamour Zone. Press play! Fashion Block is the biggest live fashion event in the Caribbean. The annual Majestic Fashion Spectacular is as bold as it is groundbreaking. The street of fashionable mayhem is dramatically set in the middle of the streets of Kingston's financial district, New Kingston. An energetic, larger-than-life razzmatazz fashion block is one of a kind. We do miss the days, but proud days and stylish ways of Save International's fashion block at Style Week Jamaica.
styling, and much more. Register now. Visit us at 3A Lovely Made in Clarendon, 71 Main Street, Ultra Rios, 6 Markley Street, Savannah Lamar, West Linden, 12 Waterdale, Montego Bay, St. James. Call us at 876-616-1131.
Omkar Astrology Center. If you have any issues, Hindu philosopher Rudra has the advice for you. Rudra is a top-renowned advisor from India. Get advice on various issues such as personal, business, career, relationships, sexual, love, financial, horoscope, travel, and more. Your visit will be kept private and confidential. All are welcome. He gives phone and personal consultation. For appointments, call Hindu philosopher Rudra at 876-566-7399. Located in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
In late 2020, an Indian actor shared some personal thoughts on the routine social media post. He captioned it the balance sheet of life. Then he realized that the power of the word would have lit a blazing flame of inspiration for his legion of fans. Thoughtful, provocative, and introspective, the post was also shared by pop superstar Janet Jackson to her legion of fans across the world, of which one. I thought I would leave you with these potent words to serve you not just for now, but for the rest of your lives. The most destructive habit, worry. The greatest joy, giving. The greatest loss, loss of self-respect. The most satisfying work, helping others. The ugliest personality trait, selfishness. The greatest shot in the arm, encouragement. The greatest problem to overcome, fear. The most effective sleeping pill, peace of mind. The most crippling failure disease, excuses. The most powerful force in life, love. The most dangerous act, a gossip. The world's most incredible computer, the brain. The worst thing to be without, hope. The deadliest weapon, the tongue. The two most powerful words, I can. The greatest asset, faith. The most worthless emotion, self-pity. The most beautiful attire, a smile. The most prized possession, integrity. The most powerful channel of communication, prayer. The most contagious spirit, enthusiasm. Life ends when you stop dreaming. Hope ends when you stop believing. Love ends when you stop caring. So please, share this balance sheet of life. Friendship ends when you stop sharing. What powerful words. Thank you so much for rolling this white Peter. Let's roll out with
Materialization.
Oh, what's wrong? Afraid the wall's gonna crumble?
Ha! Very fun. Can we talk for a second?
Hello. Hey, look over there. It's Ulrich. But what's he doing with Sissy? Hey, Ulrich.
Huh?
So,
Hey, that's blackmail. Why do you expect me to give in to that?
first of all, because it's hard to say no to a pretty girl like me. And second of all, I'm not going to give you any choice. Come on. Come on.
In the 17th century, all European states were governed by either a king or a prince. They ruled over mainly peasant populations.
Hey, what's going on with them?